welcome to ask for maps or whatever off of my computer screen if you like.
Good deal. Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of StormCast. I'm your host, Joseph Pisani, Extreme Weather Videos. Tonight we have with us Stephen Kimball up in Montana. Good to have you with us tonight, Stephen. And we also have James Brennan from up in Michigan tonight with us as well as one of our special guests. So good to have you with us, James. Proud supporter of Extreme Weather Videos as well. We're also going to be having, I know Dan's going to be joining us here in a couple of minutes. So we'll have him with us as well. So a couple topics we were going to be talking about tonight, guys. Hurricane Matthew, obviously a big topic to talk about. So we're going to dive right into that. So let's get you guys the latest information on Hurricane Matthew. As of the 8 p.m. Eastern advisory, we'll be having a new advisory come out here around 11 p.m. But as of the 8 p.m. advisory right now, it has maximum sustained wind still of 145 miles per hour, which makes it a Category 4 still. Minimum pressure still at 945 millibars. It is still moving northwest at 5 miles per hour. It has not made that due northward turn yet. And I actually want to open this up to James here, our resident hurricane expert for the night. So you can see there the forecast cone. So James, kind of just give us some of your thoughts as what you see Hurricane Matthew doing. Where I know we were talking about this a little bit before we went on air. So what are we looking at here, Hurricane Matthew?
Now, a lot of people have been forecasting this to make this hard right turn straight north. And they've been forecasting it since they've been putting the cones out for it. And it still hasn't made that hard right turn that everybody's looking for. And every forecast has changed it just slightly, which it does every time. But we're still waiting on that hard movement to the straight north. And until it does that, it's still drifting to the northwest. And people who live in Jamaica, Cuba, and even Haiti need to be on edge with this storm because they are under hurricane warnings, But it's also the fact that that storm could head directly towards Jamaica. It could just brush Jamaica, or it even could head towards Jamaica and turn back to Haiti and wobble as the
Hurricanes do.
eye of the storm reforms again, because it's going to go through another eye regeneration before it reaches Jamaica's coast at all. So we're going to be watching this very closely to see exactly where it goes. And but if you're in Jamaica, if you're in Cuba, if you're in Haiti, you better be taking the evacuation seriously because this is an extremely dangerous hurricane.
Yeah, and exactly. It's not just the wind field. The wind field with Hurricane Matthew is not a very large wind field at all. It's actually a pretty small confined area with those hurricane force winds. But we're also going to be seeing the flooding threat developing with Matthew. I mean, some places could see over a foot, maybe up to 2 feet of rain, and that's going to cause life-threatening mudslides, flash flooding. I mean, Haiti still hasn't even recovered from some of the past hurricanes that they've had. We know they're a very poor area, and they don't have very good construction there, so it's going to be definitely a life-threatening situation for a lot of folks down there, eastern Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba. It's really also going to be interesting to see what the land interaction, how that's going to affect the structure of Hurricane Matthew going forward, because we know that the eastern portions of Cuba have some very high mountains, peaks over 6,000 feet tall, and when these tropical systems interact with those peaks, it can really disrupt the circulation of it, and kind of almost creates a sheared environment for it, where it kind of can tear the storm apart. But we have to remember, on the other side, on the north side of Cuba, very warm Atlantic waters. So even if it does weaken significantly based on its current speed, it will have plenty of time over the waters surrounding the Bahamian Islands to reacquire its major hurricane status. And
Yes,
good
and of course
evening,
the
Dan.
people in
Good to have you with us as well.
Bahamas, Florida, you guys need to be starting to prepare yourselves, making sure everything's ready in your hurricane preparations and things like
Absolutely.
that, because this storm could make that northwest track for a while and come back up, come over Cuba, weaken a little, and then strengthen again as it comes up towards Florida. And it could even impact the Florida itself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, even with what we're looking at right now, can we pull up a satellite image of an infrared satellite image of Matthew?
Yeah, give me just a second.
Because that will kind of show the size of the storm. Matthew's a pretty big storm. A lot of the convection right now is actually in the eastern half, which is typical. Northeast quadrant of a storm is typically where we have some of the worst convection and structure of the storm. So here we go. Thank you, James. So that is Matthew. So we can see it is a pretty large storm. I mean, look how large that is. You can see the clear, well-defined eye of the storm. And those tropical storm force winds extend well out, especially on the eastern side of the storm, well out from the center of circulation.
Yeah, it's a really broad storm on the eastern side. The western side is really ragged, but as it's rotating around, it's dragging this way. It's pulling off the land and around back into the circulation. This side is very weak because that is what's the driving force driving it up to Jamaica and up to Haiti and up to Cuba, is this drier air over here forcing it northward. And that's what they're hoping on, is that it will not impact with this drier air, which will weaken it also. But we're watching to see which way it's going to go, if it's going to continue northwest or if it's going to go north. Because if it goes northwest, it has a possibility of slightly weakening as it goes northwest too.
All right. Well, I want to give our other participants here an opportunity to chime in also. Dan, thanks for joining us. Definitely good to have you with us. So Dan, I know you've been tracking Hermine. I mean, what are your thoughts on Hermine and its possible impacts, especially for maybe portions of the U.S.?
I just go by the adage of be ready. Nothing is a guarantee on where exactly it's going to go. So if it were me down in South Florida, like somebody mentioned earlier, just be prepared. And you'd rather be prepared and not need it than need to have something and be caught off guard.
Yeah. And I used to live in Miami, Florida. I lived there for 8 years, from 2002 to 2008, 2009, something like that, 7.5 years, 8 years. And, anytime we would see something like this, yeah, you definitely need to get prepared. Make sure you have, enough water and food to last you at least a week. Make sure you have, fill up your cars with gas early. Because, this thing could very well be making impacts in parts of Florida as soon as Tuesday. As soon as Tuesday into Wednesday, we could be seeing Florida impacts. If this cone here, well, really Wednesday into Thursday, I guess. Sorry, yeah, Wednesday into Thursday. If this cone, shifts further west, which it'll be interesting. The 11 p.m. advisory can really shed a lot of light on what the latest thinking for this is. We'll have to see if it's still moving to the northwest, or if it is about to make that northward turn or not. So definitely something to keep an eye on.
Well, my whole point is that none of this should be a surprise. It's been on the news. It's been, covered. If you're anywhere near that cone, it's not like you don't know that it's possible that it could be directly impacting you. So why not take the extra time and just prepare yourself and do what you got to do.
Yeah, I know. And again, depending on the track and the timing of the storm, I may be able to go down to, say, Savannah, Georgia, and actually get to chase this maybe next week. We'll have to see what the work schedule is like. And again, what the timing's like, whether this is slower, whether it's faster. Again, it's really moving 5 miles an hour, but apparently they're expecting it to pick up in forward speed. We'll have to see whether that actually happens. There's that upper level trough that they're watching that's really could have an impact on it. And that kind of leads us into our next topic is the severe weather threat that we're expecting out for portions of the central and southern plains. So SPC has already issued a enhanced risk for portions of Kansas, north central Oklahoma, slight risk surrounding that, all the way from southeast Nebraska back into the portions of the Texas panhandle there. So, I mean, this, again, this whole system, as it moves east, depending on timing, it is definitely going to have impacts on the track of Hurricane Hermine. So it's really interesting. You know, we've got the severe weather event, we've got Hurricane Matthew going on, and how are the two later this weekend going to interact with each other? So, Dan, you want to give us an overview of what we're looking at here from the SPC for Tuesday?
Well, sure. This is my first time looking at it.
All right.
Yeah, if we could scroll up just a little bit, that'd be great. Well, let's take a look here. So here we go with that. We talked last week on StormCast about the significance of that kind of that second season of severe weather.
And we're definitely seeing it come to fruition.
Yeah, right in the heart of Tornado Alley there through mid-Oklahoma up through Kansas. You're looking at an enhanced risk. You might be able to speak a little bit better as to of the particulars of what's creating this situation. That I haven't had an opportunity to look for yet. But, you know, the tornado season is not just in spring. Yeah, we might get the most of them there, but, you know, this time of year can also kick up some good storms. Usually a little further south, but
yeah, I mean, it's interesting to note that, because typically in the fall season, we'll see the most tornadoes in, you know, the southern plains, and then also across portions of Dixie Alley. So places like Texas is actually the state that has the most fall tornadoes. In November alone, they've had over 200 tornadoes from 1950 to, I want to say, 2015, followed by Mississippi, Alabama. They also get a lot of fall tornadoes. Florida also gets a decent number of fall tornadoes, especially late fall into early winter. With those cold frontal systems, you'll have the big snow producers on the northern side.
My guess would have been right along the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, big snow producers on the north side, and then the southern side of that cold front, you'll see that severe weather really ramp up. So basically what's going to cause this severe weather, we have an upper level trough that's going to be moving through with its associated cold front. We're going to see that Gulf moisture stream in northwards, those dew points on the rise across portions of Oklahoma and Kansas. We're also going to have a very favorable wind shear environment. So tornadoes definitely not out of the question, especially across portions of north central Oklahoma, I should say. So definitely folks out there need to be prepared. Don't take this lightly, because we could see some pretty significant severe weather. I mean, they have a hatched area for portions of south central Kansas and also for portions of Oklahoma. This does not include the Oklahoma City metro. They are within the slight risk area. They are not in the enhanced risk area, but it does include places like Wichita, and also places in like, what is that? Enid, Oklahoma. That'll be a pretty good target area. If I were out there, that would probably be a place where I'd probably try and target. Here's a look, James showing us. This is the SKU plot. So we can see you can see the good amount of CAPE on there, unstable atmosphere, all the way up to just under 200 millibars there. And you can see the fast wind speeds aloft in the change in wind direction there on the right side. A lot of this is may be new to you for some of our viewers. They're like, whoa, what in the world are we looking at here? This QT plot on the right side there, there's your hodograph. Pretty well sheared environment we're seeing there, especially in the lower, I'd say lower third of the atmosphere, it's going to be pretty well sheared. Once you get in above 500 millibars, not going to be as sheared, but from the surface up to about 500 millibars, some really strong crossover shear forecast, anywhere from 35 knots up to say 50 knots. They're around 500 millibars.
Thereabouts, yeah.
So
And you're also looking at the. There's also going to be a great helicity in the atmosphere if you look at the photograph.
yeah,
For
they're
the
on the bottom left. Yeah, you can see that
yeah,
very well defined there.
yep.
Looks like a
And
bunch of cool technical numbers to me, and that's about it.
but the one box I want to point to you guys is the right in the middle. It says potential hazard type.
Yeah, tornado there.
Yeah. So you got to be careful. Supercell is significant. So
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty bad. I mean, I pulled it right out of the middle of this cape right here, and this is almost 20. It's over 2,500 to
Yeah, that's
3,000 cape in here. I mean, look,
very unstable
2745.
area. Yeah, very unstable
Very
atmosphere there.
unstable atmosphere at that point.
Yeah, and this is at 18Z. Is this at 18Z?
Yeah, 18Z, 51 hours out,
Okay.
21Z on the clock.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's going to be, we're going to be late afternoon is what it's looking like here across portions of north central Oklahoma, south central
About
Kansas.
3 p.m.
Yeah.
3
late.
p.m. local time.
Yep. So definitely going to be pretty significant.
Joey, if we both leave now, we can get there in time.
There we go. Let's drive out there. I'm only like 15 hours away, 16 hours away, something like that. Unfortunately, I have to work the next 2 days. So
I'm about there with you too, but I can't do that. I got doctor's appointment tomorrow, so there I'd go.
yeah. So but definitely anywhere from Wichita, Kansas, Enid, Oklahoma, Salina, Kansas, Hutchinson, Kansas. I actually have a friend who lives in Hutchinson, Kansas, and Derby, Kansas. All those areas are within the enhanced risk area. Slight risk area does encompass Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Lincoln, Nebraska, Topeka, Kansas, Lawton, Oklahoma, places like that. Still a chance of severe weather. And then that marginal risk really extends from southwest Minnesota all the way down into Texas. So Kansas City, Tulsa, Des Moines, Iowa, all those places have a chance of seeing some form of severe weather as we get into Tuesday. Now, it's really interesting that the SPC hasn't issued any sort of severe weather area for Wednesday, but it wouldn't be out of the question, I'd say, for some severe weather threat to linger into Wednesday, maybe across portions of Missouri, especially. I'd say I think we could see possibly some severe weather threat in Missouri, maybe into Arkansas. On Wednesday, we'll have to see what happens with the system as it makes its way across the center of the country. So, Steven, you still with us here?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, Steven is our resident earthquake specialist. So that's our third topic tonight. We want to talk about what did you see today, Steven?
I saw a article that they issued an earthquake warning for the southern vault of the San Andreas Fault in California. They said it would be up to 7.0, which is a very, very high, or higher than that.
And James is showing us this is a USGS. These are all the recent earthquakes. This is today, correct?
Today, all magnitudes.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's just today?
That is just today. So you can see this clustering of earthquakes there. I mean, some of these, only 1.4, 1.7, but still, they're earthquakes. So we have this clustering in and around. You can see right in there where he's pointed out there's that clustering, and that's where they issued that earthquake alert that is in effect until Tuesday. What are the counties listed there, Stephen? That earthquake alerts in effect for?
I don't see any anything on there that would tell me which areas, but this earthquake thing really is, very interesting to,
It's a new thing.
see. And it's a new thing. They said that the 7.0 or higher on the southern San Andreas fault triggered in 100 as low as 1 in 3,000. The average change, such as earthquake striking or given week, is 1 in 6,000. That's a heightened possibility will last through Tuesday. It just says the southern vault of the southern San Andreas fault.
The southern part of it. Okay. California.
So the areas that are in the warning need to be, listening to their, alerts. If any alerts come out, you need to be watching for that. Number 2, if you're inside of a building, you need to bunker down, you need to do your earthquake precautions. And especially, if I were to live down there, I would be very concerned. But I live in Montana. But the thing in Montana, if the earthquake were to happen where it would go 7.0 or higher,
it could really affect the situation up there in Montana.
It could really affect us because the volcano will go off, and then we'll all be in trouble.
Yeah, we have a volcano in Montana.
Yeah, we got a volcano right on the Montana-Wyoming border, and it's called the Yellowstone supervolcano. So if it were to go off, we would be dead in no time. The whole entire state would be gone.
So
yeah, and if that volcano were to go off, it would actually affect the entire continent of the United States all the way across to New York, and it would even affect
the ash
England
cloud and everything like that. Yeah, it'll be definitely pretty. Did you ever see that movie Super Volcano, Dan? If not, you should definitely go and check that out sometime.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, you should definitely go and check that out.
I have seen Dante's Peak. Is it anything like that?
I have not seen that, so I am not sure. I have not seen that.
There is a video that I watched with Dwayne Johnson in it, the San Andreas.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good movie. They had some really good special effects to it for sure. For those of you that are watching this right now live on our YouTube page, I do want to thank you guys for watching this. Also, I want to let you guys just get a quick update out about some of the new things that we've added to our website since we have Dan here with us. We just recently added a brand new online forum. So Dan, why don't you tell everyone about our online forum and how they can register for it?
Yeah, so go to extremeweathervideos.com, and under that you'll see forum, and it'll take you to a brand new board that we just created just a few days ago. You can go ahead and sign up there, and then you'll have access to a bunch of different rooms where we talk about all things weather related, forecasts to anything off topic as well. A lot of our members are there. While you're there, you can check us out, and if you're interested in actually joining Extreme Weather Videos, we'd be welcome to have you there too, and then that'll open up even another part of the forum as well. So
exactly. Applications are still available on our website as well. Just again, go to extremeweathervideos.com, click on apply, fill out the short application questionnaire. Either myself, Dan, or one of our other members of administration will get in contact with you, and it will be great to have you guys join the Extreme Weather Videos family of storm chasers, meteorologists, and weather enthusiasts. So definitely want to let you guys know about that. Always hashtag your pictures and videos with hashtag EWV Live. Got just a couple minutes left, so want to let us wrap this day's edition of Stormcast up. We'll probably actually be doing a couple more Stormcasts over the next couple of days, just continuing to monitor and track Hurricane Matthew's severe weather situation. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click on subscribe. That way you'll get the alerts when we go live on YouTube. So you can check that out. We'll be probably having another Stormcast tomorrow. And again, most likely on Tuesday, tracking the severe weather and Matthew's impacts. I know we have some chasers that are actually Brett Adair is headed to, I believe is now in the Nassau in the Bahamas. So he'll be reporting live there for Weather Nation. So definitely be sure to tune into that. Also, I'm not sure where Jim Cantori's headed. So we'll have to see if he makes it down to South Florida or thereabouts.
There's quite a few live storm media chasers down there right now. I believe one was headed to Haiti.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I saw some live storms media video coming out of Jamaica earlier today. So
yeah, quite a few of them are down there for Weather Nation covering the hurricane at this time. So
yeah,
hopefully they get some good video.
Yeah, exactly. They're a great group of folks, and we love working with them, working alongside of them. So absolutely fantastic. And again, if Matthew, depending on timing and everything, decides to come a bit close to the United States, you might see myself out there later this week or this weekend. We'll see what happens with work and everything like that and the timing of Matthew. But we're going to go to our final closing thoughts for tonight's edition of Stormcast. I'll start, and then we'll just work our way back. So again, my closing thoughts, definitely Hurricane Matthew, going to be really interesting to see when it decides to make that right turn and the impacts that it has. It'll be really interesting to see how close it comes to Miami, considering I used to live there. Have a lot of friends down there, so might have to go make a visit. One other thing I want to say that I'm really been enjoying is I finally here in Atlanta, we've gotten a couple days of cooler weather, so it actually felt like fall this past weekend. It was pretty busy out at Stone Mountain Park on Saturday. Beautiful weather. Going to be a little bit warmer for the beginning of this week. Temperatures back up into the upper 80s, but then looks like we're going to be coming back into the 70s by next week. So really glad that fall has finally decided to show up for us here in portions of the Southeast. Steven, what are your final thoughts for this week's edition of Stormcast?
Everybody have a good weekend and I hope everything goes good for everybody. I know that there's been a lot of stuff going on with police departments, fire departments, EMS out there for the past few days, and everything. Just pray for them every single day to keep safe, because I know they go through a lot of stuff that people see every day. I mean, they go through things that they don't want to see.
Yep.
And that's hard on them, especially if it involves an officer, a firefighter, or EMT. Well,
all right. And James, we're up to you. Definitely thank you for joining us tonight. Definitely hope you can join us again in the future here on Stormcast. Definitely get to have you on here with us tonight. Final thoughts.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me in on this. It's been fun. Just keeping track of this hurricane is the most important part for me because it's going to affect the most amount of people at this point. Yes, we are watching for that earthquake, if it is going to actually happen or not. Unfortunately, the science in that is still very, very new. So I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but if they're right, then I hope not many people are hurt by it. As for the severe weather, that's also coming on Tuesday. But the hurricane is the most important aspect right now, and everybody from Florida all the way through the islands needs to pay attention to the weather and be prepared to evacuate at a moment's notice.
Exactly. Definitely, they're in Florida. You know, if this thing were to hang, you know, to pull a Sandy and hang a hard left down there, you know, that could really throw things off. So be ready, be prepared. Excellent. Dan, come to you, my friend.
Well, kind of a lot of the same thing. Mostly, about the hurricane. We'll have to keep an eye on it, see where it ends up. But reiterate the fact that, it doesn't hurt to just be prepared. If that means buying a few extra things now than what you normally would between now and, later this week, then so be it. Better to be prepared than be caught off guard. And things look like they're starting to dry out in parts of Iowa now. So that's good. Parts of eastern Iowa were pretty flooded for a while.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just stay safe and just be ready for it.
Absolutely.
I'm sure the people down in Florida. I've never been down in Florida, but I'm sure a lot of them have been through this before, and they know what to kind of expect. And it's just going to be another one of those of just be ready if you need to be, and hopefully it'll move further east and not be that much of an impact. But in case if it is, be ready for it. So.
Awesome. And again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Be sure to catch us probably tomorrow night. We'll be back here on air. And if you want to join StormCast, shoot us a message to our Facebook page, Extreme Weather Videos. Just let us know you'd like to be a guest. And we'll see what we can do to get you guys here on the StormCast so you can ask your questions. Just leave a comment below, like, subscribe our YouTube page, all that good stuff. Follow us on Facebook. And we'll see you all tomorrow night. Have a great evening, everyone. From the Extreme Weather Videos headquarters in Atlanta, I'm Joseph Pisani. Thank you, James, Steven, and Dan. Hope you all have a great night. We'll catch you all tomorrow.
Sounds good.